Hi guys, my name is Brooke and this is Pippa, and we have been traveling on the road in my Honda CRV since May 2021. We've been on the road full-time since August of 2020, and I'm here to answer today everybody's question of how much does it cost to live in a car? Obviously, there are so many different types of variations of how much things cost, but for now, in current time, January 2021, this is my current breakdown of my expenses / my budget guideline to help get you guys an idea of how much I spend. I know this is going to be different for everybody, but I know that these videos are helpful in planning for the future if you want to live on the road. So we're going to start with food first off, right off the bat. Food and gas are my two biggest expenses for the month. I give myself about $100 a month to eat out, so that usually breaks down to about $25 a week, but I don't really pay attention to the week by week number because some weeks I'm a lot closer into town and to eating out, and other times I am further away and I'm mostly just eating groceries. So basically I just use that $100 as a guideline, and if I want to eat out or eat a hot meal or don't feel like cooking, I allow myself to do that. I try to spend $50 to $75 a week on groceries. I do during the summer tend to pull out some cash out of my grocery budget and stop at like farmers markets, like little roadside stands for fresh produce, fresh fruit, even like popcorns and kettle corns and things like that people are selling on the side of the road. I do fill out with all of those things as well in the summer. Less during the winter because there's just not as much out there, but I do have a budget for that as well. My next biggest expense, like I said, is gas. I budget myself very high for gas. I have a $400 guideline budget, etc. for gas every single month. I rarely hit it, especially this month in January. I don't do a ton of driving. I'm staying pretty much in the same area for the entire winter, so my gas for the month of January has been around maybe $150, and we're right at the end. So I'm going nowhere near that $400 limit, but that just goes right into my savings. But I try not to restrict myself on travel or gas because there are always external factors, whether it's weather, whether it's changing campsites, whether it's driving into town for an emergency or just because I feel like it. I don't ever want to feel like I can't go somewhere just because of gas. So that's why I budget so high for gas. My next expense is my car insurance. I have a pretty good rate on car insurance, about $200 every 6 months. I go through Geico. My residency is in South Dakota, so I have the insurance through South Dakota. It might be cheaper, I've heard from a lot of people. I also have an older vehicle, so I don't think my insurance is expensive because of that, and I also have a great driving record. I have no speeding tickets, I have no accidents on my record, so I have a pretty good rate. So that breaks down to about $33 a month, even though I pay it every 6 months. So I don't pay that out monthly, but it is part of my expenses. My phone bill is probably my next biggest expense. My phone bill is through T-Mobile. I have a business plan, and I also have 2 phones with unlimited data, but 100 gigabytes of high-speed data, so I can stream and YouTube and do all the things. If you don't know, I also stream on Twitch, and I go live a lot on TikTok, so I need that data, and I have that business plan through them, so I get a little bit cheaper rate, I believe. So my bill comes out to about $150 a month, which is not super wild. In my opinion, I've paid almost $150 before for just one phone. So I find that T-Mobile has the best deal for that for me. I always get asked about health insurance. I am self-employed, so I get my health insurance through the marketplace. Because I am self-employed, things get expensed. A lot of my travel is expensed because making content is part of my job, and so I tend to not make as much money after taxes, so I tend to get a pretty good tax credit on my health insurance. Last year I paid about $40 a month for my insurance. This year I'm actually paying $0. All of my health insurance is through South Dakota. If you have more questions about why everything is through South Dakota, go ahead and watch my mail video and why I moved to South Dakota video. It gives all of that breakdown. So this month and for the rest of the year, I will be paying $0 a month for health insurance, but I do have it. Pippa does have pet insurance. This allows me to go to any vet that I need to go to and submit a claim through her pet insurance and get reimbursed for that. She has a $250 deductible and then gets, I think, 90% covered after her deductible. Great for emergencies, great for anything that kind of crops up. She does have a collapsing trachea, so we do need to get medication while we're on the road. So she does go to the vet a little bit more often than other dogs, but it also covers emergencies. Last year, she stepped into red ants twice, and we had to get antibiotics and things like that to clear that up, to make sure that her little foot didn't get infected. So I then had no hesitation to be able to bring her into the vet and just get that taken care of, because I could submit the claim and I could move on. But yeah, her monthly rate for her insurance is $65. I do currently have a storage unit in Denver that has my back seats in it and a couple pieces of just like memorabilia of my childhood and things from my grandparents and stuff like that. I'm currently ending my storage unit, but previously that was $80 a month. So I'm not going to factor that into the total, but that is something that I was paying for before. I also then have Planet Fitness. Just like a lot of travelers, that's $23 a month. I can use, it's the black card, so I can use any Planet Fitness that I am near, and it's what I use mostly for showers. Don't work out a lot, but I do use it to shower. I do have a few like entertainment type things that like are monthly recurring bills. I have Spotify, I have Disney Plus, I have the Peacock app so I can watch TV, and those are about $25 a month, and it's just like little things that keep me entertained on the road. I also spend about $25 a month to do laundry, obviously in coins or in like laundry cards that I refill. And that's one of my expenses. Since I don't have a washer and dryer, I do have to factor in that cash to be able to do my laundry every month. Pippa has some extraneous expenses of treats, her food, like water, dishes when things go out, all of that. And I factor in about $35 a month for her. I tend to get my oil changed every 6 to 8 weeks, so that is usually around $40 to $60. I'm not going to factor that into the actual monthly rate, but that is something that I do pay for on a regular basis, so I have to budget for that as well. That is pretty much all of my like short-term expenses, but I do have some things that I pay for yearly. One of those things is my mailbox and my permanent address in South Dakota, so that costs me $250 a year. My car tags, registration, all of that costs me about $60 a year. And to keep my business name and registered LLC in the state of South Dakota, it costs me $50 a year. So if I break everything down per month, I'm spending around $1,200. I'm definitely not living super cheap. I definitely have larger budgets in areas that I could definitely cut down. That is the high end of my budget. That's with everything all in all the time. But like I said, right now my gas is about half of what I would spend. So I'm down around under $1,000 right now because I'm staying in the same location all the time. So it just fluctuates. It can go up to around $1,500 if I'm shopping more or if I'm eating out more or things like that. But that is still less, even at $1,500, than what I paid for my last apartment just for rent. So I would say all in all, I am still living quite a bit under what I was when I was living in an apartment or when I had my house. And I definitely have a little more financial freedom than I have in the past. It's a lot less stressful for me. It has made me feel very in control of my finances, and overall, I wouldn't change it at this point for the world. I know that this may get asked in the comments. I don't pay for any camping. I don't have any campground expenses, and I don't stay in hotels. So I do all free camping. If you want to watch that video, I have 2 videos on free camping as well and how to find them. But other than that, that's pretty much all of my expenses for the whole year. And yeah, I live a pretty simple life. So if you have any questions about my budget, spending, etc., I'm always down with being transparent about all of that. But other than that, I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!